We'll call this meeting to order.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Thank you all for being here. Housekeeping note, this meeting is being recorded. We typically start our meetings with introductions. Let's start down there with Mr. Moore.
Moore, IT Director.
Justin,
Justin Felger, Managing Editor, St. Mary's Daily Press and Register Record.
thank you.
Marilyn Seco, the Courier Express.
Matt Fry, County Treasurer.
Rick Brown, L County Solicitor. Rick Bauer, L County Commissioner.
Fritz Lucker, L County Commissioner.
Morning, Matt Meesenberry, L County Commissioner.
Pat Sprout, L County Chief Clerk.
Emily Anders, Office Administrator.
John McMahon, President Judge.
Leanne Kovac, District Court Administrator.
Todd Calderon, L County Sheriff.
Baker, Elk County Children and Youth Director.
Thank you, everyone. We'll get right to it. We have an agenda in front of us. Any changes, questions, edits? Hearing none, I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Motion. I'll make that second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Thank you. We also have before us the minutes of the January 5, 2026 salary board meeting. Had a chance to review those. Any changes, questions, comments?
Motion to approve the minutes as prepared.
Thank you, commissioners. All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. No old business. Under new business today, our new business number 1. We're here to discuss approval of recruitment and retention incentive payments for our CYS office. These incentives will continue only so long as they are included in the CYS needs-based budget and are approved by the appropriate state funding agency each year. So that means that the state approves these funds for these recruitment and retention incentive programs. The state approves them. The state also contributes 80% of the funding toward that. The county is responsible for 20% of the funding. So Nancy Baker, the floor is yours.
That like a lot of the morning. So actually just what you had stated, so that funding is to help to retain, we're still at a deficit with staff upstairs. And some of these retention and recruitment incentives are hoped to incentivize workers to stay and actually to apply and work at the agency. Like I said, we're still at a deficit, which is not just ELK, really is across the state with caseworkers and workers.
And
So this will help, so thank you.
for clarity purposes, the state does recommend these types of incentive and recruitment payments, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Anything else? No. Okay, so I look for a motion that we approve these incentive payments.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Thanks, Nancy. So new business number 2 is approval of job descriptions. Pat, do you want to say anything about this? This is just a matter of housekeeping, getting things updated, clarified on record. Is that correct?
Yeah, a lot of, in fact, many of our job descriptions within the county have very dated formatting. They're being systematically upgraded as we can get there to bring them in compliance with the regs and then the duties that are required. Because some of the technology has replaced some of the duties that used to be in these functions. So we're right sizing them and we can only do so many at each meetings, but we want to try to get CYS done. So we've got a few coming through for them. We've already approved quite a few of them, but we're probably got 40% yet to go here. So.
Right, so this is just a continuation. You'll notice in our January meeting, we approved a handful of them. So again, just updating, keeping things moving, updated. So approval A is for CYS, it's for a case aid. under jail next salary grade H. And item B is also CYS for caseworker, jail next salary grade L. Again, we are not establishing or changing any positions. We are only updating and refreshing the job descriptions. We're not changing anything else. So I would look for a motion that we approve both those descriptions for CYS, if anyone would like to make a motion.
Make a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
We have motion and a second. All those in favor approving job descriptions, and these job descriptions have been reviewed and approved by Nancy Baker, correct, Nancy?
Correct.
Thank you. Okay. So we have motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Item 2C for the Sheriff's Department is for a part-time office clerk, UMWA level 4 salary grade. Sheriff Calderon, thanks for being here. Anything to add? You've reviewed and approved this.
I did, nothing to add. Chief Clerk explained what's going on very well.
Thank you. Thanks. So look for a motion to approve job descriptions for the part-time office clerk in the sheriff's office.
I'll move.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Business number 3, approval for domestic relations. So we have His Honor Judge McMahon and Court Administrator Leanne Kovac here today. We understand there are some readjustments, reorganization. The floor is yours if you'd like to give us any information.
Thank you, Commissioner Lecker, and thank you for having us here today. With respect to item number 3, A through D, those are items that address just that. Efficient relative to the restructuring that's occurring. Essentially, as it relates to item number 1, the court is requesting that the office administrator, PACES administrator, and case manager position be collapsed or reconfigured into an office administrator position. As it relates to the traditional enforcement officers, their positions would be collapsed into intake and enforcement. With respect to the other items C and D, they're saying collapsing, but essentially in certain respects, those positions are being eliminated. When it's all said and told, I would note that, as everyone may recall, in 2022, the court had requested consolidation of the Elk and Cameron County domestic relations sections. At that time in 2016, the total staff between the offices was 11. With respect to the current staff, it's 7. In regards to the request of the court, is essentially reducing the total staff in the domestic relations section to 6. And so there would be cost savings that's being presented by the court relative to a reduction in one of the staff members. And again, addressing some of the matters in C and D relative to those positions, they've been vacated and essentially not filled. And so it's the intent of the court relative to these positions, again, to address the changes that have occurred. And I would note that there's been a significant decrease in cases, not only in Elk County, but in a peer group that the court looked at relative to overall domestic relation cases. In 2016, it was a little over, right around 1,000 cases. The total cases for 2026 that we're looking at is a total of 528 cases. And so there's been a significant reduction in cases that the court has seen, not only in this county, but again, surrounding counties. Notwithstanding the reduction in cases, I would note that domestic relation cases are oftentimes much more complex just with the changes in society in terms of identifying individuals and with respect to locating individuals that are responsible for child support and those types of issues that are presented. So even though there's a lesser caseload, there's oftentimes more work involved with domestic relation cases, in particular as it relates to child support cases. And so based upon that, the court is requesting that the salary board consider the proposals as set forth in paragraph 3A through D. Thank you.
Thank you. Interesting trend, isn't it?
Yes.
On the surface, you think that's good news, but then start digging in and it's muddier.
Yes.
Great. So can we take A through D together? Okay. So Your Honor, it's your recommendation that we approve these?
I would make a motion to approve. A,
Thank you.
3A through D.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Questions from the press?
I have none.
Just a question for Nancy. The recruitment and retention incentive payments, I hadn't known anything about that. Is that something that is given like yearly or, I mean, who qualifies for this?
It is a yearly incentive program for the retention, and when we are able to hire individuals, they would obtain like a recruitment incentive. So it is yearly as long as the state is able to give us that funding for it.
So the new people continue to get the bonus? Is that
They
it?
won't get, so there are things in place that obviously, like if a new employee would get a one-time bonus, they would only receive a recruitment incentive
Okay,
instead of a retention because they haven't been there for a year. So they would not receive both.
okay. Do you think that's an effective way to get more people? You're still short-staffed though?
We're still short-staffed, and I don't see that. I don't know if it's just the pay. I mean, I think you could add a significant amount of money to the salary, and I think it's a difficult job. So I don't know if it's necessarily just pay, but I think it's an extra incentive that can help keep people and bring people on, but it's a difficult job, so I think there's folks.
How does your county salaries for them, how does that compare to other counties? Are we way behind?
I'm not gonna say we're way behind. I mean, I would say as a whole state, they probably could be higher. I think the caseload and the things that folks are dealing with now are not the same that were being dealt with probably 20-25 years ago. People and families are way more complex in today's society than they were perhaps 20 years ago, when I was doing intake work. So I would say it varies, but salary wise, I mean, I think we're probably plugged in average with the other surrounding counties and class 6 counties as well.
And returning to when you said things are different from 20 years ago, do you find that the position involves more risk now than it did?
I think there's more risk. I think there's a lot more families who are not willing to comply when we're really just trying to help. So that there just have to be other measures taken to ensure child safety.
And so your staff is often put at peril themselves.
Correct. 3 o'clock in the morning, going to a house or, if we have to remove a child or just to ensure child safety. Correct.
Sounds like combat pay would be in order. Is that something?
So Nancy, correct me at any time if I misspeak. So COVID, things changed drastically. Okay, and about the COVID time, we started our peer market salary
It's a compensation study.
compensation study. We wanted to make sure the county was paying. We were able to recruit and retain employees compared to other counties of our size in our demographic area. However, a couple of years ago, the state also realized that this job was getting tougher. There were a smaller pool of people willing to do this job, and the state, Families First, that's where the first incentive funds came from. So the state initiated this recruitment and retention system. I think this is our 3rd year, Nancy. Correct. That we're approving right now. So things have changed. I'll let Commissioner Quisenberry speak to the salary.
Yeah, so we do
Question.
all that we can to try to evaluate whether our positions are being compensated equitably compared to peer counties. There's 7 counties that we look at that are specific in size and geographic location to Elk County. And then we see what they're paying, we see what we're paying, and we try to determine if we're sort of within that ballpark or average, is what Director Baker had said. However, with that said, there can be the case where one particular county that might really be in trouble in terms of staffing could just throw everything in and say, we're gonna go ahead and elevate those salaries to a level that's beyond what the typical average would be paid. And at that point, you're poaching from another county and we are sometimes caught behind the eight ball, and then we all sort of chase each other. And then we have this arms race of who's gonna pay the most, and people start to play this musical chairs game. So we are cognizant of the fact of what other counties are paying, but we also have to be realistic that we just can't get into that arms race and just keep paying and ginning these salaries up, because we have all other positions we have to be aware of as well. So it's a balancing act, and that's where the retention and the recruitment bonuses can help offset some of that in terms of providing additional incentives for an employee either who would like to come to work for us or may want to stay as an employee of the county of Elk.
And those, as Commissioner Queenenberry stated, those 7 peer counties are all 6th class counties also, as we are. So it's apples to apples, like
Right.
6th class county, seeing what their averages are, and then. Yeah, I mean,
Thank
you can't compare a 6th class county to a 4th class county
Right.
or a 3rd class county.
I get it.
You just can't.
Just another balancing act.
But I also want to give you credit. You were absolutely right. It's something that we had considered too, as far as if we hire somebody and they receive a recruitment bonus, how does that play into whether they're going to get a retention bonus? And so there is a whole way to prorate what they have. It's sort of spelled out within sort of the details of this. But I want to recognize that you were right where we were, kind of in the war room as we were thinking through this and making sure that we were being fair. But also not putting ourselves in a position where it just didn't make sense, where somebody coming on is then suddenly going to be eligible for an additional bonus that they otherwise wouldn't be able to receive. So we've worked through those details too.
And these bonuses, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're done throughout the state.
Correct. I don't know if every county, I mean, I know a majority of county are incorporating that,
Right.
with guidance from the state to help offset salaries. I know I was on a work group to try to get 100% salary reimbursement from the state. And just the work group kind of fizzled out, but that's something that I know we were trying to do.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Well, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Questions from taxpayers? Hearing none, look for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
I'll second that. Meeting adjourned. Next meeting Thursday, July 9th, 2026, following the 10 a.m. commissioners meeting. So thanks, everyone.